What if I told you that a shy kid who hated talking to people now commands the attention of almost 400 million subscribers? A teenager who once celebrated making his first $100 on YouTube now gives away millions in a single video. This is the story of how Jimmy Donaldson turned counting to 100,000 in his bedroom into a billion-dollar empire that's changing the world. Many people assume Jimmy Donaldson, known to the world as MrBeast, was born into wealth, a trust fund kid with connections and resources. The reality? Jimmy grew up in a small town in North Carolina with his mom and brother. His mother served in the military for 21 years and worked constantly to support her children. When Jimmy talks about his childhood, he describes himself as beyond shy. He really didn't like being around people. At school, he felt like an outcast because nobody shared his obsession with YouTube. At age 13, Jimmy discovered YouTube. While other kids were playing sports or hanging out with friends, he became obsessed with creating content, even though he was painfully shy. He would wear his hat pulled down low, and coaches would always pull it up. He was so shy that even if there was a person in front of him, getting him to talk was impossible. But behind a camera, Jimmy found his voice. At 15, Jimmy's life took a dramatic turn when he was diagnosed with Crohn's disease.
Your intestines are inflamed, and because they're inflamed, you don't process food as well. So if I ate something, it would just go right through.
He dropped from 180 pounds down to 139. At 6 feet 2 inches, he was like a frail little twig. He barely could get out of bed. He had no energy to do anything. The disease forced him to abandon his dreams of playing baseball in college. Instead, Jimmy channeled all his energy into YouTube, despite making virtually no money for years. His first videos were horrible, and then they slowly got less and less horrible throughout the years. That's how he describes it. For most people, creating content day after day with no reward would be discouraging. But Jimmy had something powerful: obsessive determination. He told himself that when he hit 10,000 subscribers, he would finally tell his mom that he was doing YouTube. By the time Jimmy graduated high school, he faced a pivotal decision. His mother, a first-generation college graduate, insisted he pursue higher education. Jimmy never wanted to go to college. His whole goal throughout high school was to make enough money from YouTube to avoid it entirely. He reluctantly enrolled but quickly abandoned classes to focus on YouTube. When his channel started generating about $1,000 a month, he made his move. He called his mom and told her he hadn't actually been going to college all that time. He'd move out the next week. It was a massive risk. But what happened next would change everything. Jimmy realized that to stand out, he needed to do things nobody else would attempt. His thinking was simple: if I do interesting things, people will watch. His first viral sensation? Counting to 100,000 on camera. 40 straight hours of counting numbers. This was one of his first real viral videos, and that's where it clicked for him. If he did interesting things, people would watch. This led to a series of increasingly extreme challenges: reading the entire dictionary, watching the same music video for 10 hours straight, spinning a fidget spinner until it broke. But the real turning point came from a simple brand deal worth $5,000. When offered $5,000 for a sponsored video, Jimmy did something unexpected. He negotiated for $10,000 instead, with a surprising purpose. He just wanted to walk out his front door and give it to a homeless person. That single moment changed everything. The video of Jimmy giving $10,000 to a homeless man generated massive views, but more importantly, it gave Jimmy something money couldn't buy. His mom had never heard so much enthusiasm, so much heart, so much feedback about any video. His heart was changed. Jimmy had discovered his winning formula: using brand deals to fund bigger and bigger giveaways, creating content that was both entertaining and impactful. He thought he had just cracked the code. As Jimmy's channel grew exponentially, he faced a choice many successful creators encounter: indulge in luxury or reinvest in content. He briefly experimented with designer clothes and sports cars, only to discover something profound. Once you have a nice sports car, you realize it's cool. But if you have Crohn's or other issues, they don't just go away because you have a nicer car. To him, a lot of that stuff was overrated. Instead, Jimmy reinvested everything back into his videos, creating a virtuous cycle. Better videos led to more views. More views led to bigger brand deals. Bigger brand deals funded more ambitious giveaways. More ambitious giveaways created even better videos. But Jimmy's vision expanded beyond individual giveaways. In 2019, he launched Team Trees, aiming to plant 20 million trees worldwide. The biggest thing they wanted to prove is that the internet isn't just all talk. If we really put our minds together and try to make a positive change, we can actually do it. What skeptics thought would fail reached its $20 million goal in just 1 month, mobilizing millions of people around the world. During the COVID pandemic, Jimmy stepped up again, giving away hundreds of thousands to people who lost jobs, donating millions of meals to food banks, opening a free restaurant when people needed it most. Now, through Beast Philanthropy, Jimmy is creating a sustainable model where YouTube revenue directly funds food banks across America. Every view on that channel is literally putting food in people's mouths. What makes MrBeast different from other YouTubers isn't just his giving nature. It's his business smarts. While most content creators work alone or with small teams, Jimmy built a huge operation with friends and talented people. MrBeast Burger grew to over 1,000 locations almost overnight. His chocolate company Feastables made $10 million right after launching. His game show attracted $100 million in funding. His video production team now rivals big TV studios, but Jimmy's biggest win might be keeping his values as he grows. Everyone who works with him shares his work ethic and giving spirit. Even as his company has grown huge, the main idea stays the same: push limits, create real joy, and use entertainment to help others. So what can we learn from Jimmy's extraordinary journey? First, success rarely happens overnight. Jimmy posted videos for years with barely any views before his breakthrough. Second, find what makes you uniquely motivated. For Jimmy, it wasn't fancy cars or status symbols. It was seeing people's faces light up. Nothing is more entertaining for him than just seeing someone go from having a rough day to just going, "What?" Third, the greatest innovations often come from combining things in unexpected ways. Jimmy merged entertainment with philanthropy, creating a model nobody had seen before. From a shy kid counting to 100,000 in his bedroom to a philanthropic force changing thousands of lives, MrBeast shows us that sometimes the most powerful business model is simply doing what makes you happy while helping others. Just because you can't do something massive like him doesn't mean what you're doing isn't important. It might seem small, but if millions of people do it, it has a huge impact. And it does start with you. What small act of generosity could you perform today? Share in the comments how you plan to make someone's day a little brighter. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of MrBeast's winning pattern, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories of extraordinary success. Until next time, keep finding your winning pattern.